This is a shared blog for the Reflective Coach module. Today's blog is going to be about a coaching philosophy. What is your coaching philosophy, Jordan?
My coaching philosophy? I don't really have one, to be honest. Just I just think if the children are having fun, and if they're having fun and they're learning, and no one's disengaged, and that's what it's really all about, really, for me. What's yours? Have you got one?
My coaching philosophy is it's all about the players at your disposal, so my sessions kind of based around them. So it's my idea of them having fun and getting as much out of it as they can. So learning different skills, being more socially active. And I think that's probably, if I had a philosophy as such, I think it's more socially that they get out of it. So I want it to make it a good team bonding exercise, so like the human not at the start.
Yeah. So more player led, really.
Yeah.
So, but then you've got the argument of, would you need to be there?
Yeah. I think I need to be there to facilitate it.
But would it then just become social club?
Yeah.
If you think
that
they're turning up the other day for an hour, or an hour and a half, to play their sport.
Yeah.
And if it's what you're getting out of it is for them to become more social, then would it be the wrong?
I think that's just a low aspect. I think outside I need to be there to facilitate and put on, not drills, they're not drills anymore, put on the session so they can actually meet the four corners. So meeting the social, meet the technical, tactical, they're the key principles. And what about your philosophy? It's out at the end of the day, each session, and not every kid is going to have a big joy in it.
Yeah. But I think that's where it comes to fail to succeed.
Yeah.
Is in the fact that sometimes it's hard on your own as a coach, which is why you don't see many coaches on their own. You see always they have another coach with them, because you can always help the ones that are struggling.
Yeah.
But the ones that are succeeding, that's when it becomes a problem during the practice, because then you're moving people on.
Yeah.
But then players are behind. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, then what do you do next week?
So as you say, your coaching philosophy is involving every session.
Yeah. Try and involve everyone and making sure everyone's learning at some rate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then it comes to the idea of, then when it comes to next week's session, what you're supposed to do for the ones that succeeded.
Yeah.
Because the ones that haven't still grasped so for example, if you're doing a passing drill, they haven't still done that element of the passing.
Yeah.
So do you stick on that for the next week?
Or do you move
on? Which is where, again, progressive. Do we hold back?
Yeah.
And focus and let everyone do one thing?
Yeah.
Or do we vary it up and let others do it?
No, I totally agree. And I think I agree on the concept that, especially for novice coaches, is because that's what we are.
Yeah.
Is a coaching philosophy is evolving every day. So we'll have obviously our own beliefs and principles.
Yeah.
And we kind of use them, don't we?
Yeah.
So in our session, like in my sessions, I use my personality to get across that fun side of the learning.
Yeah.
Where you might do it in just a drill exercise. And that's your philosophy, that every drill you do must be your fun element in it.
Yeah.
But my side is probably I need to show my personality at the moment to get across that fun element and get them learning.
But then in different elements, and then create different environments, would then you have different philosophies for the different environments that you create, or would you stick with that one? So so the example I'd give is you're in a session, and let's say last week everything was working, your personality was coming out, and you were. But then the next week, you're doing the exact same thing, but the children aren't responding as what they were doing.
I think that's all. I think that's all dependent on experience, knowledge, and it's also been cited by a load of people, including Nash, that to build up knowledge, you need experience. So the more experience you get, the more you understand of them situations, and therefore, because I'm 20 years old, I'm nowhere near to having a philosophy like your professionals and like Lowell's who have got 4 principles and they stick to it and it works every time based on their success. And it is challenging, and that's one of my, I would say,
that's what's fun about it.
Yeah,
and it's trial and error.
Yeah, of course it is, and that's what you want. I want in my own principle that everything you do is a challenge, and it's a challenge environment where they can learn, where they can fail, like you said, and kind of
it takes the fun out of it for the coaches because if you think about it, we go into a session and if we drill into the players just one thing every week, it's not fun for us and it's not fun for them. So if we mix it up, it's why it creates different environments. It's why it's why we learn as coaches that sometimes you need to adapt and be adaptive.
So let's put a professional aspect on it. Pep Guardiola, his philosophy is known now that there's the 3 P's, you've got play, possession and position. And like you said, do you think he's challenged every day when he's doing his philosophy? Or do you think it is the same every time he goes to the club?
I think he was challenged at the start of the Premier League season. I think he was challenged at the start of but he was challenged last year at the start because he came in when Jurgen Klopp came in and when Jose Mourinho came in for United. And he was under the spotlight because of what he did at previous clubs. Everyone said that they were going to be the dominant team, but instead it was Chelsea last season. I think he was in more under pressure this season, but I think everyone knew that he needed the players.
Yeah.
So then you can obviously say, is it the philosophy or is it the players?
But then, is it the coaching what has allowed the players to get where they are now?
But he's bought players that are already at their peak, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So he's bought a Kyle Walker. Yeah. He's bought a Mendy. He's bought an Edison.
There's no question that he's obviously had the money.
Yeah.
But then flip it on the other side, United have nearly spent as much money. So you got your 8-9 million Pogba. Yeah. You've got your Zlatan's come in and for the sound. Lukaku 75 million. Now, why are United not playing away City? Because they've just spent as much money. Is that because it's the Mourinho's philosophy?
But then, I think it would be, because you would say that throughout the years Mourinho has always been a defensive manager, and Pep Guardiola has always been a attacking from the front kind of manager, where if you saw at the Barcelona.
So would you say that they're the way they are because they've built that knowledge and they've built their experience? That's where Mourinho's look, I need to be more defensive because I'm not that attacking. My philosophy is not attacking, so I'm going to build my thing on strong defence, and he has done, and he's been successful.
But you can see that many critics on Sky Sports or whatever, they always say Mourinho, or even the fans always say Mourinho plays a boring style of football. Yeah. But if you look at it, they wouldn't be second in the league if they were playing a boring style of football, would they? Because you have to score goals, and they score goals. Yeah. So, is it the fact that it's boring to watch because they're used to a Sir Alex Ferguson, who was always going
all about his wages,
Yeah. In football, everything changes, really.
Well, then there you go. Then
everything changes.
So Pep Guardiola's philosophy will change constant.
Yeah.
And it'll change constant, so it's not just his philosophy, if you know what I mean. His philosophy is these principles, but every day at training, his philosophy changes depending on
Would it? Do you think? I don't think it has. Because in the season, because if you're saying it's changed during every single
Well,
day,
would you say
then they'd play differently every single day, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
They would.
yeah, the principles are the same. Yeah.
But then that would mean the philosophy is the same.
Was it?
Yeah. Because they play the exact same way every single week.
So has his philosophy changed since last year?
No.
First time.
No, because he tried it. You could tell. Everyone said that he didn't have the players. Which what those players need, we don't know. Because he came out and said that he needed players that wanted to play out the back, and he wanted a goalkeeper who could play out the back.
But he got coached on players.
I think he tried, but I think there's so much. I think football's one of them where different players give you different things. Because if everyone played like Pep Guardiola's philosophy, then we'd all play the same football.
Yeah.
Which is, for example, Joe Hart, unable to play with his feet, but he's good at shot stopping and stuff. So I think that's why he had to move him on, because he's not part of what he would think as his perfect goalkeeper. Everyone's got their own different.
Yeah, it's all about your beliefs and what you believe in and what you think is good football.
Exactly.
My good football is totally different to your good football.
Exactly, yeah.
But could that philosophy just change down to grassroots, or do you think grassroots coaches have a philosophy or not?
I think if talking of myself with the under-9s that I coach, the training sessions that I do, I work on different things, but then on Saturday I implement the same things every single Saturday, if you know what I mean. So we'll work on different things every Monday when I have our training, but then on Saturday I'll always tell them the same thing.
Same message.
It's the same message. It is, when you lose the ball, go and win it back, and always, I want you to press.
So would you say that's a philosophy of a game match instead of your own philosophy?
I think it's a philosophy of watching elite coaches and also implementing my own style. My idol coach is Jurgen Klopp, because I love the way he presses.
Yeah.
I try and implement that, but then I don't coach it in training sessions because I don't believe at that age you drill him in at that age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just drill as a coach. But I feel in games that's where you try it.
Yeah.
Because I think in training it's hard to implement such high work rate at that age.
Yeah.
Because all they want to do is really kick a football. Because Jurgen Klopp's philosophy is working off the ball.
Yeah.
And at that age you want to work with the ball.
Yeah.
Which is why you would never implement it at this age. When they get older, when they get to 11-a-side, then I'd implement that into my training sessions. But right now, I'd only say it in games. And I just say to them, the front three, just press, and then the middle goes, and then the defence pushes up as well. Sometimes we can't see because they'll just put the ball over, but it's the learning curve that I'll take and the players will take, and then we'll all learn thinking. And then, but at this age, it's about, I think, basic football skills.
Which is, I'm on the line where I believe there's only you who have a philosophy.
Okay.
Pep Guardiola is one, without doubt. Jose Mourinho, to an extent, has a philosophy and it works, it's successful.
Yeah.
And
would you say Jurgen Klopp has one or not?
Yeah.
Would you say Sam Allardyce has one?
They all have a philosophy.
Or are they just a style of football?
I think they're just, I think the confusion is the style of football.
What would you say the difference is between a style and a philosophy?
I think philosophy is the blueprint of you as a coach, and I think the style of play is used for the coach with the players he's got at his disposal. So I think, like you said, Guardiola and his blueprint on how his team wants to be. I think Sam Allardyce, his style of play is all dependent on the players at his disposal. And
I think though that his time at West Ham, his time at England, and now his time at Everton, is he not playing the same football? throughout those three? Because he's seen as,
There's no,
he's seen as the route one.
yeah, he's seen as the
So
route
would
one.
that be the philosophy as the route one?
He has seen as the route one, but there's also argument that with better places, like with Everton, they are playing a bit more football. With players that, like Bolton, it was route one football because they didn't have the players to play the football. At Crystal Palace, yes, they had like Benteke up from a focal point. Allardyce is
Were
doing
they playing football?
but they weren't playing better football.
But were they playing football when he was at England?
Well, they had one game in England, so it was hard to play how.
True. But you've got...
It is a fine line, and everyone has the. My point is, everyone has the philosophy. They can have a philosophy, but I think the difference in being is actually producing and kind of the players understanding wholeheartedly that the philosophy is going to work.
So you think there's two philosophies in, there is an attacking philosophy and a defensive philosophy. Everything else around that is either... So,
yeah,
in Allardyce's
football
style,
yeah.
it would be an attacking philosophy, but then Jurgen Klopp's would be an attacking philosophy,
yeah.
and then anyone else, so it would sit 11 men behind the ball, would be a defensive philosophy.
Yeah.
So you think there's only
but then there's another argument that the best form of defence is attack.
Yeah.
So
would there be three philosophies then? Because I believe that there is philosophies out there more than two.
Yeah.
And the style of play implements that philosophy. So, for example, when you're pressing from the front, when you've got the ball, what do you do with it from there? Because you've got the ball. If you didn't have a philosophy, you wouldn't know what to do when you had the ball when you got it back. Which is why I think Pep Guardiola is so good, because when he gets the ball,
so why is he so good?
He knows what to do when he gets the ball.
Why is he so good? Why is he so good?
Years of experience.
Years of experience.
Yeah, I do.
Sam Allardyce has had more experience, and why is he? You know what I mean?
I just think I'm not saying Sam Allardyce's philosophy is bad.
No.
I'm just saying everyone has the
different
preference. Yeah. I mean, when he was a manager of Crystal Palace and West Ham, he did really well at West Ham, but all the West Ham fans wanted him out because of the philosophy he was playing and the style of football. So it's hard to please everyone, isn't it? Well, that's the fun.
I think that's the idea. This chat is your idea of philosophy, my idea of philosophy, because I think it's hard to get your own philosophy. I think you have your own ways of doing things, but to come to you and say, this is my philosophy, go and do it, it's going to be completely different. Yeah.
If you had a blueprint for your own style and your own philosophy,
I think you could do your own style, couldn't you?
Yeah. You could write it down.
Yeah.
But then to then give it to someone and go, you coach that.
Yeah.
I think that's why everyone says it doesn't come with a coaching manual.
Well, then,
it doesn't come with a manual. It'll come with instructions.
So the relevance of coaching badges.
Because you've got the England DNA for what you learn from your FA level 1 in your coach.
You've got your level 1. Yeah. You looked at the DNA.
Yeah.
Have you implemented it in yours or not?
Well, the England DNA is making sure high ball roll time, making sure each player has enough ball, kicking the ball in the session. I'd say yeah.
Would you do it without even seeing the DNA?
Yeah, you do though, don't you? You do. I think you do. But then that also says so if we all stick with one philosophy in the England DNA, what's the point in going on these courses?
To build your knowledge and to...
For what though? Do we really need coaches if it's one style? Because then surely if it's one style, then all the other rest wouldn't get counted for.
Is that what everyone wants to play? Let's say the Spain philosophy is pass the ball and pass the move. Which again is highlighted, which they claim that That's why they won the World Cup. Now, we haven't won
That's
the World
what I mean. You've got different philosophies there. So you've got
Well, I think
different
philosophy.
countries have different
Is
philosophies.
it a philosophy, or is it a DNA, or is it a...
Because Pep Guardiola's philosophy
It's a Spanish way.
Spanish. Then you've got
Well, also,
Brazilian.
yeah, but it's
and that's all about flair.
But also he's
The German efficiency from Jurgen Klopp is
yeah, but Johan Cruyff is the person Guardiola learned most of his coaching skills from, and he's took that into his own. So he's
but he played at Barcelona for all his life.
So I think we're coming agreement that it's the experience and the knowledge.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think if it all comes down to different philosophies, whether that's you saying there's only two, or me saying there's a lot.
I won't say there's only two. There's loads are out there, but I don't think there's as many as people.
Yeah, I think there's a lot out there,
Yeah.
and I think it all comes down to one experience, as you've said, and the players that you've, not even the players you've got, just how hard you work with the players.
Yeah.
Because
is it like getting them to believe in your?
Yeah, especially at grassroots.
Yeah.
You can because the margins are so thin at elite level. That's why he brought in those players, because he had no room for error this season because of what he was saying last season, which is why I think it's a bit more relaxed at grassroots level, and I think that's why coaches like me explore different scenarios. But yeah.
That's all. Thanks for listening.